All right, coming up, we have a special edition of the Nate Kilbert program. Glad you can join us. Coach Lisa Powell pinch hitting for Nate Kilbert here on this Tuesday. Be safe out there weather-wise. If it's not the cold and the ice, it's the rain. And so Nate Kilbert pinch hitting for Lisa Powell as the Lady Braves coming off a very successful week, one of the hottest teams in the league, 6 straight wins, a tie with Alabama A&M for first place in the Southwestern Athletic Conference standings. Alabama A&M goes to Southern and Grambling this week, and the Lady Braves will go to UAPB and Mississippi Valley Thursday in Itabena. Charles Edmond, our producers, Jamario Brooks and Cedric Tillman. And joining me, as you can see, is Lady Braves assistant coach Lisa Powell on the road as she joins us here on this Tuesday. Coach Powell, we appreciate you pinch hitting.
Oh, no problem, Charles.
The Lady Braves off a very successful week, won 6 in a row. Just talk about this last week, Coach, especially with Southern University, one of the top teams in the conference, Grambling, a team that likes to trap. And the Lady Braves just finding ways to get it done in a high-scoring game against Southern University, the highest point production total of the year if you discount the non-D1 games, the MUWs, and the Russ colleges. We had the highest point production total of the season against Southern University, then against Grambling. A very tough week, but a very productive week. What was the key this last week, especially coming off the Florida swing?
I think the key was and is that we were focused, they concentrated at the task at hand and the chemistry and their mindset. We played as a unit and we won as a unit. We shared the ball. That was a major thing. Did very well on breaking the press. Like I said, they got confidence in each other and they trust each other in the process.
Well, you can definitely tell this team loves playing for one another. Going in, the injuries and dealing with Leah Houston going down, and then Kiara Henderson went down in the Southern game. So let's look at the week that was Lady Braves basketball, shall we? Southern University, a team that was pretty good on the post, team that's physical, and we won that game 69-56. Nate Kilbert talked with the officials about the physicality, and the game was physical. There was no doubt about it. Just talk about how this team, the Lady Braves team, was able to match Southern's physicality, because that was one of the underlying keys to the game.
Well, we prepared our post. The man up, grow up, be mature, and that's what I think our post players did. FAMU kind of prepared them. They had a girl player who kind of pushed our players around. I think our post player got tired of it, and they learned how to move their feet, and adjust to the way if they're playing down on that post. And look, we get a lot of help from that weak side, so that's an important part. Maya is coming. She's getting the weak side rebounds, and like I said, we're playing together well as a unit.
Well, you as a coach, I do notice that during the course of the year, you have little sidebar conversations and you talk to some of these players one-on-one, try to keep their heads on straight, just little small one-on-one conversations. I mean, without sharing much, I mean, what are some of the things that you're trying to get them to focus on? Elvis Robinson does his thing, Nate Kilbert does his thing, and then you do your thing with the players. Just, it seems like you're just trying to keep their head on straight, make sure they're pointed all in the right direction individually. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, my job is to, like I said, keep their head on straight. Tell them the adjustments that they need to make. It's either on the defensive or offensive side. Moving their feet, boxing out, where the shot is going to come from. How to adjust to our offense. How to flash to the ball. So that's what I mainly talk to them about. And keeping their composure. That's our main thing. With the pressing with Southern and Grambling, we had to keep our composure, keep our head in the game. And I think our kids did a very good job of doing it.
And you talk about composure. I mean, Southern kept coming, and so did we. As we're looking at the highlights of the Southern game, it was 39-36, and man, Kiara Henderson got it done, Coach. You look at Southern University. I mean, the physicality of what they were trying to do, but we matched it. Is it safe to say that us matching that physicality of Southern University was one of the keys to the game? Because the officials I mean, let's just be honest. They had a hard time really keeping up with the pace of this game. And some people were saying this game was too big for the officials. I don't know about that, but it was clearly, big time matchup, big time game, big time venue. But it was very tough for the officials to call. But we were able to match, Coach, the physicality of it all. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, Coach, Charles, that's a sign of maturity. The team's growing. They're understanding what SWAC basketball is all about. I always tell a post player, you have to be physical in this game. You can't go in there complaining. Just learn how to adjust to their style of playing as well. If they're going to play you physical, you need to play them physical. And hey, let the referees call the game. You're not going to get all the calls, but as long as you stay composed and play your game, we're going to win.
And we had some adversity in the game, Coach. You had two players foul out. Kiera Henderson went down with an injury, and yet we were able to maintain and sustain. Were you concerned with those players fouling out in key moments? And there was a ton of fouls in the game for sure. And then Kiki going down. Was there a level of concern, especially the last 2 minutes of the third quarter? That's when the fouls really started piling up. And then in the fourth quarter, when Henderson went down, and then obviously Nakia Cheatham was in foul trouble. She picked up her fourth late in the third quarter, missed most of the fourth quarter. Were you concerned how the fouls were adding up?
I was concerned, but I also have confidence in the bench. We've had a lot of productive our players being productive coming out the bench. We even had one of our freshmen, Francis, stepped up, took care of the ball, boxed out, got rebounds. We got Lauren Nelson coming out the bench, who does well. We got AP coming out the bench, knocking down big shots. Charles, we really have one of the best benches in the conference. So I wasn't too concerned about that aspect of the game.
Well, as you can see on that particular play, that last highlight there, that's when Kiki went down and we were able to pull away. I mean, we were helped by the fact that Southern missed 18 free throws. We were, obviously we were helped by that. But just talk about closing out the game, Coach, and just trying to finish it out the right way. We had it in control, but just trying to finish it because Southern just kept coming. They have a real good post, a couple of good post players inside. Some would say one of the better posts in the conference, some of the best post play. Just talk about how we're able to close out the game, outscoring Southern 20-16 in the fourth quarter.
We were able to keep our composure, take care of the ball. We didn't have that many turnovers in the second half, and we were able to do things with the possession. We were able to score. We either scored or we got to the free throw line. So we would counteract everything that they were, throwing at us. We're taking care of the ball, making our easy shots and free throws. So that's how we were able to get over that hump.
Lady Braves with their season high in terms of points, 69-56 in the game. Maya Hunkin-Claytor with 17 points, including 4 triples. Krishani Walker with 10 points. Coach Powell, that's one of her better games of the year. Talk about her development in the post. She's just a sophomore. She's going to get better and better. Coach, your audio, we don't hear you. You need to turn you got your audio muted. We see you, but we don't hear you. All right, we're going to take a break right here. Coach Powell's obviously in her vehicle, and we'll take a break right here. We'll be right back after this 60-second timeout. We'll be right back here on the Brave Sports Network.
Some names immediately evoke an uncommon sense of family, an unmistakable sense of character, an undeniable sense of legacy. Always. Where trailblazers and innovators chart new paths of possibility. Where academic rigor empowers the strength of character to lead with knowledge and integrity. It's a name that harkens back to over 150 years of truly making a difference in our world. Always Alcorn.
Yeah, still don't hear.
All right, welcome back. We got Coach Lisa Powell. Coach, can you hear us, or did we lose her again, Cedric? I think we may have.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know
Okay,
what
there
happened.
we go. Yeah,
Okay.
with it's tricky when you're when you're in your vehicle, just depending on location. It's a
Okay.
slippery slope. So we appreciate what we can get out of this particular situation. We appreciate you coming on with us. Krishani Walker, we let off with her before we lost you. Talk about her
Mhm.
development, Coach. This is one of her better games of the year.
Okay, Walker has started to come in the gym, work on her game, and she's a very good listener. I always tell kids, if you're a good listener, your game is going to improve. She's come in early before practice, early before the games, and she's putting up shots. We are working on positioning, where she should be positioned on defense, how she should defend the post players, not letting them get control. She take control of where they should go, where they should go, and not allow them to take control on what she's doing. So, like I said, she's a great listener, and that's helping her improve her game.
69 to 53, 10 different players scored in that game, Coach, and it was a lot of hard work put into this week of work. Coming back, considering coming off the game of the Florida trip, you left a day later. There was all kinds of weather issues that you had to deal with, and so to get this team refocused, considering that you kind of got home a day later, got right back on the preparation. What was the mood in the locker room after that big win? Because the last two meetings, the road team has won the last two meetings. We won down there 59-55, and then we had a big lead 2 years ago at home, and Southern rallied and won. What was the mood in the locker room?
The mood in the locker room was great. Like I say, the main thing is they're trusting in each other. Hey, we don't know who's going to take that big shot. And, we share the ball real well. And like I said, the mood is good. The confidence is good. Their mindset is wonderful. And I love the chemistry. Like I said, they trusting in one another. And if you pay attention now, we're going to make that extra pass because they're going to get the ball to the player who's hot. And they're beginning to understand, I don't have to be the hero. I let somebody else be the hero tonight. I'm going to shine the next game. So they're beginning to gel and understand that concept of the game.
Well, let's go right into the Monday game, Coach, against Grambling State University, a team whose press I thought was even more so intense. And we're trying to protect the basketball. We were down by 12 early in that game. Were you concerned early in that Grambling game, Coach? I mean, because they started out hot. They were up 20-8, and Nate Kilbert had to take a timeout, just getting off to a slow start, something that we haven't seen most of the year.
Right. I'm not going to lie, Charles. I was a little concerned. But once we called that timeout, I'm not going to lie. Once we called that timeout, and I saw that they still had that in the eyes, it's going to be okay. And once our key players said we're going to be okay, I felt a little better. And then, we started coaching. We started to make the adjustment. And like I said, we knocked down some big shots to get us right there. We take each possession. We know, hey, we're not trying to knock that lead down in one possession. We're going to a defensive stop here, a big shot here. And that's working on, in our advantage. So, like I said, they're beginning to listen and have confidence in themselves.
Well, big shots, Coach, down the stretch in this game. I mean, Grambling outscored us 19-11 in the fourth quarter, but 30-14 in the second and third quarter. That's where we really kind of had control of the game. When you look at what we did, Coach, Nakia Cheatham with 18, Maya Hunkin-Clater with 10. Again, we're getting good contributions from everyone. Kiara Henderson didn't know whether she would even start or play. There was no doubt she looked none the worse for wear, 12 points. Another solid effort. Coach, it seems like whoever's number's called in whatever situations, players are stepping up now. And I think that is the key to what's happening right now.
Yeah. And don't forget the bench. The bench contribution is a big part of our game plan. They come, and we need a rebound. They come out, they get a rebound. We need a defensive stop. Somebody come in there and do that. So I give a kudos to our bench.
Coach, talk about the fourth quarter, because Grambling caused us to turn it over. They made shots and they got themselves back in the game. We got key stops and key rebounds and key situations down the stretch. Talk about the fourth quarter in which Grambling made that push.
Well, we kind of helped Grambling make that push. We were rushing, even though we had the lead, we were rushing. Grambling didn't cause us to have those turnovers. We caused our own turnovers. Once they slowed the ball down, they understood the situation that we were in. We had the lead. There was no reason for us to rush. And once Coach called that timeout, setting them down, and then we were able to take advantage of our possessions and then turn the ball over as much.
Yeah, that layup by Cheatham put us up by 9, but Grambling made it a one-possession game. Why do you think we did go so fast, or the need? Our body clocks, our game clock was kind of speeding up when we really just needed to take time off the clock. What do you think the cause was for the reason why we were sped up a little bit? Did we speed ourselves up, or did Grambling speed us up?
Grambling speeded us up, and we didn't. We made the adjustment that second and third quarter, but that fourth quarter, we got out of sync. I'm gonna give Grambling their props. They sped us up. There was moments that, like I said, we didn't have to rush. We could just, bring the ball down and get us in our sets. But we got some players who didn't understand the situation. Like I said, we called timeout, told them our situation. We didn't have to rush. It was to Grambling's disadvantage. We were in a spot that we need to be. And so settle down. We got us a key turnover that last 9 seconds in the game. And hey, we pulled it out.
Grambling didn't even attempt to foul there. Maybe it would have been a second and a half left. We make a free throw, we win the game, but still, Grambling played off. Talk about that last turnover, Coach. Grambling inbounded the basketball in front of their bench, and we were able to create a late turnover there. That was really the big play in the game. Talk about that set and what we're able to do defensively there.
Well, we were able to put somebody on the ball, not let the person who taking the ball out see what they wanted to run. I'm pretty sure they was trying to get a 3, but by us putting a person on the inbounder, we kind of threw them off from there. And then what helped is, hey, we got we had a turnover, and that right there, that sealed the game. They never got an opportunity to take a shot.
Lady Braves win 61-58 as the win streak now coaches 6 games in a row coming off that Alabama A&M loss. We beat the Texas teams, we beat the Florida teams, and we beat Southern and Grambling. And now, Coach, as we turn the corner Thursday night at the Harrison Complex, a place that has not been kind to the Lady Braves. We got Mississippi Valley on Thursday and UAPB on Saturday, which will complete 4 games in 7 days. What's the key to getting out of Itabena with a win, a place that's been tough for us the last couple of years?
Well, the key is going to be our kids getting their proper rest, taking care of their bodies. As long as we have the same mindset that we've been having these last 2 games, Charles, I think that we'll be in control of our own destiny. We did some things. We missed a lot of easy baskets, shots around the baskets. I know once we get that taken care of, and it's some players that we expect to make the basket, but once we take care of that, get our kids some rest, and like I said, they keep that same mindset. I know we gonna come out with the victory. I'm not gonna even say a thing. I know we gonna come out with the victory.
And then we go to the Clemens Arena, UAPB, very much improved ball club. So, Coach, how important would it be to continue the win streak? We'll be following, at least I will, Alabama A&M. They take on Southern and Grambling. Who knows? We might be in first place by the time we get home. How exciting is it? In the last couple of years, and this is the final question. We appreciate you coming on. We've been kind of, fighting to get in the tournament. We're in a 6 seed, but now we're on the other side of the coin. We're in the hunt for a regular season championship. How does that feel?
That feels great, Charles. Like Coach Kilbert tell the kids today, our destiny is in their destiny is in their hands. How they go. It's up to them. I'm gonna be rooting for us Southern. Hey, because if we take care of our business and Southern kind of help us out, we'll be in sole possession of number one. So our destiny is in our hand. And I think they'll do a great job in taking care of that. Once they see that what they're fighting for is something that we hadn't had in a long time, and that's win the SWAC conference and the tournament. Hey, you know, you don't nobody have to motivate you for that. You should be motivated yourself, to do something that we hadn't done in like 20 years. Charles, as a player, I'll be ready to set foot on that court every game.
And the Lady Braves are very much right there in the mix, tie for first place with Alabama. A&M got to take it one at a time. Win the week. Well, that's a football phrase, but win the Thursday night, then win the Saturday night, and we'll see what happens. Coach, we really appreciate you coming on. I know you're on the road and the weather's kind of crazy. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you from Itabena Thursday night. Big game, Lady Braves at Mississippi Valley. We'll talk to you on Thursday, Coach. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Charles.
We appreciate Lisa Powell pinch hitting for Nate Kilbert, Lady Braves, and Mississippi Valley Thursday night. We'll take a 2-minute break right here. Jake Morton standing by. Boy, a tough night at the office for the Braves last night. We'll recap the big win over Southern and maybe put the Grambling game behind us. We'll talk all about it with head coach Jake Morton coming up in 2 minutes here on the Braves Sports Network.